The first time I heard of small modular nuclear reactors, I thought it was a great.
This is about, hi, this is Niels on Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. And buy some silver platinum, some crystallized osmium. That's right. This is, again, Sabine Hassenfelder. Good news for small nuclear reactors. I've been talking about them for 2 years. Let's see what modern day smart people say about what I've been talking about.
Great idea. The more I learned about it, the less great it appeared, and I'd lost hope they'd ever come into use. But astonishing things are happening. Small modular reactors are on the way against all odds. Let's have a look. Small modular reactors are designed to solve the two biggest problems with nuclear energy. It takes a long time to build and it's expensive. Small modular reactors could be built in a factory and then be shipped to location. They are modular means that they can be combined to larger units. Typically, small modular reactors have a power production in the range of 100 megawatts or so. A standard nuclear power plant is in the range of a gigawatt. So you take about 10 of them and you have a standard nuclear power plant. One of the most promising uses of small modular reactors is powering energy-heavy industry, like, say, steel production or chemical industry or AI data centers. For this, they don't even have to be hooked up onto the grid. Unfortunately, in reality, small modular reactors aren't as much of an advantage as they sound. The major problem is just geometry. You need to shield the nuclear reactors, and if rather than one big one, you have 10 small ones, that is more shielding material.
Okay, this is where she's wrong. As you get smaller, you need less shielding, not more shielding. So each one of these boxes being a small modular reactor or a micro nuclear reactor, all the shielding would fit in one box. She doesn't quite get it.
That's not great if you want to bring costs down. It's like ordering one large pizza or 10 small ones. The physics is fine either way. The problem is who pays for the boxes.
The physics is not the same either way, because as nuclear reactor gets smaller, they have more inert built-in safety features that they're redundant. They're not powered. They're just automatic. The smaller you get, the safer it gets. I don't think she totally understands. She's a physicist, but I don't think she totally understands the principles of micronuclear and small modular reactors.
Other issue is that making the reactor core smaller actually changes how the reactions run. Again, this is just a consequence of the geometry. A smaller reactor has a larger surface area, so more neutrons can escape. If you want to keep the fission rate at the same level, you have to make up for that somehow. Typically,
she's right there. If you want to keep the fission rate the same, if you want 20 megawatts of power from a 1 megawatt unit, yes, you have to put 20 megawatts of stuff in it. What she's not telling you is this micronuclear reactors aren't 200 or 20 megawatt. They're like 1 or 2 megawatt. So again, I don't think she understands what she's talking about.
By using higher enriched fuel. Again, that isn't great for keeping costs down. What about the idea that they're faster to build? Well, in reality, that just hasn't been the case. The first US attempt at a small modular reactor was the M-Power project that was launched in 2009. It was cancelled in 2017 after costs exploded.
And also what she's not forgetting is just last year, the Nuclear Regulatory Agency, that would be 2024, not 2017. Back in 2009 and 2017, it took 20 years for the Nuclear Regulatory Agency to grant you a permission to build one. So of course it took too long. She might understand some things, but she doesn't understand the politics of this. As I've done in my videos, the Nuclear Regulatory Agency is now hand and fist walking companies through the Nuclear Regulatory Agency's process to get the regulation they need to build these micro and small modular reactors. And the time has dropped down from 20 years to 6 months. So she's totally wrong.
26.
She's not an American, so I wouldn't expect her to know our laws, though.
The company NuScale announced their small modular reactor, but that project too was terminated in 2024 after costs exploded.
Before we changed the nuclear regulatory requirements, the ones that the NuScale, and that's why I never told you all about NuScale, they were going under the old nuclear requirements where it took 20 years to get processed through. That's why I just did a small video about 4 days ago. NuScale has dropped 480% in their stocks, and they're going down further because they put all their paperwork in at the wrong time. That's why I like NNE.
The company itself had estimated the levelized cost of energy with $89 per megawatt hour, and that includes a $30 subsidy. This is slightly cheaper than standard nuclear power, but more expensive than gas, and that's leaving aside that the company probably prettified the numbers. Independent estimates usually...
What she's not talking about here is the infrastructure required. Right now, there are no micro or small modular reactors out there, so that I don't think she understands the infrastructure. It's going to tie into pre-existing infrastructure, so it's going to be cheaper. You don't have to build the infrastructure.
Found that small modular reactors would be equally expensive, if not more expensive, than full-sized ones. Similar things have happened with literally all small modular reactor projects so far, even the ones which were completed. They took much longer to build and were more expensive than anticipated. The International Atomic Energy Agency lists 2 small modular reactors in operation plus 2 test units.
And that also is a lie, because every nuclear powered submarine on the planet, and for which there's probably like 50, they've all had small micro nuclear reactors operating for about half a century. So that's not listed there either.
But, and this is the surprising development, it doesn't seem to matter, especially countries in the European Union have decided that small modular reactors are going to save the day. The European Commission, unbelievable as that sounds, has a small modular reactor strategy. The French company EDF plans on bringing 30 small nuclear reactors online by 2050. The Finns are in the process of selecting a place for small reactors to power their capital. The UK government wants to build 2 in Wales. In August, the Swedish Prime Minister announced that for the first time in 50 years, new nuclear power will be built in Sweden, and it'll...
That's Dream Inc. I've actually talked about the Swedish company. They will succeed along with NNE.
Be small nuclear reactors. Donald Trump has announced he wants to see at least 3 small modular reactors operational by next year.
And that is why we changed our whole government strategy, and it is from it taking 20 years to get the approval to build a nuclear plant to where it now takes 6 months, 40 times faster. That happened last year. I did a report on it.
And the American company NuScale, which cancelled their project last year, has come up with a new and improved design plan that was approved just in May. The Nuclear Energy Agency lists a whopping 98 current plans to build small nuclear reactors with dozens of different designs. Most of them are planned in North America, with Europe coming in next. The biggest interest comes from utility owners, followed by national laboratories and the industry. Are they all crazy? Maybe. They're probably hoping that the budget and schedule overruns are prototype problems which can be overcome. Are they right? I don't know.
Yes, they are right, because so far she said a lot of things that aren't right.
What I do know is that small modular reactors might not yet produce electricity, but they're generating a measurable field of political enthusiasm. How does that work? Why is that so? If those are questions you also like to ask, you should really have a look at Brilliant. It's a great way to practice your problem-solving skills and your critical thinking.
All right, now she's just selling her product. Lots of big differences with micro and small modular reactors. And how I know they're going to succeed is the United States Defense Department of the Department of the Air Force has already ordered one from OKLO, and a contract has been put out by OKLO for Kiewit to build it. So since they got their regulatory approval 2 or 3 months ago, they've gone from getting what would be a regulatory approval of 20 years, they got in 6 months. And within 3 months of that, they got a contractor willing to build it according to their specs. And they sold one to United States Air Force Base in Alaska. These all are differences that Sabine Hasselhorf does not know. So that's how I know more than her about micronuclear reactors, because they are going to succeed, because the American government is pushing for us to be energy leaders of the world. That means all the stopgap measures that were put in the way for nuclear to fail not only have been taken out of the way, but nuclear is being pushed by you and me, at least our tax dollars. So it will succeed, because last time your and I tax dollars got pushed into something was, I don't know, World War II, we won. I know some of you probably don't believe this, but landing a person on the moon, we won. The Iraq war, we put money into that, we won. Anything we put money into and America pushes, the government pushes, we win. The government is pushing for micro and small modular reactors. So just like Tesla wants to win, it's an American company from an American government, giving them subsidies, making them win. You see how companies win when you get the backing of the American government? The government and the backing of the American government are behind small and micro nuclear reactors. They will win, because that'll give America energy dominance over the world, which will put us in the head leadership role for 300 to 400 years. It'll make our currency the most powerful currency for the next 300 to 400 years. Why? Because everybody needs power. If you don't have it, you can't do anything. If we control it, we own it. We're the king. Voila, end of story. That's why America's pushing so hard for micro and small modular reactors. And as far as that goes, here shortly, I imagine all the top secret information from submarine nuclear reactors being run for 50 years will be turned over to these companies so they can look at it and get all the safety features. Because for 50 years, micronuclear reactors have run underneath our seas in contained environments without any issue. So they are very, very safe. They've got a half century of safety. And these are all things that Sabine Hasselhorf didn't talk about, but they're actually quite honestly true. Oil is right now, and that's actually shifting to natural gas. Natural gas will be the big one. Yes, they can fit into a trailer truck. Matter of fact, I got a picture of one. I think it's Zeus or Hercules or something. I think it's, I don't recall the actual name of this, although I do have a picture. Let me get it up here. It's nanonuclears. Hercules, I believe is what it's called. I don't know. We're fixing to see. Nope, it's called Zeus. My bad. Got a picture right here showing you right now. It's the Zeus nuclear reactor by NNE micronuclear reactor. That is the truck that the micronuclear reactor fits in. As you see, the name is ZE/UZ, Zeus. It is Nanonuclear Energy's micro nuclear power plant. Actually, there is evidence for round Earth. I can get that for you right now if Google will allow it. I'm going to ask Google for flight paths of all airplanes. And if I can get a map coming up, flight commercial flights worldwide on a map. Here we go. Let's see if I can get this. No, it's not giving me what I want. It's showing me little round dots. I want to know if you look at the flight plans, flight tracker. Let's see flight tracker. Nope, not that one. You can see the curvature the way if you put, oh, here we go. This one might work. Let me see if I can share screen on this. Share screen, share screen. It's a very, very, very bad image of it, but it is an image of it. If the Earth was flat, those lines would be straight lines because the Earth would be flat. They wouldn't have to curve. See all those curves in those lines? That's because the Earth's not flat. Bottom line. Latitude and longitude. The Vikings proved the Earth wasn't flat about 12, 14, 16, 1800 years ago with their sunstone when they came to America before Columbus. So, yeah, anyone wants to be a flat earther, you're more than welcome to it. Everyone's welcome to have their beliefs, but just realize they're not real. What about the black guy that can turn plastic into gasoline? What about the white guy who can turn water into fuel? Color has nothing to do with it, brother. Pat, sorry. Yeah, there's lots of people. There's a little 16-year-old kid out there has a permanent power generation. I did a video on him. There's a black guy out there I did a video on as well. Says he has a permanent power thing going on. There's lots of people out there saying that. The one thing that holds true is governments will not allow it to happen. Because if you can't charge people for power, there's no money in it. Therefore, it's not economically feasible. So if they ask the government, is it economically feasible? They'll say no, because you can't tax it. There's no money in it. It's all free. So you're going to have to fight every government in the world to get free power out. But free power has been around for a while. My dad went to school after 22 years in the Navy. He went to an automotive school after he got out to become an auto mechanic. And his teacher put him or his class into 4 groups because there's 20 of them. There's 5 4-man groups. And he said, hey, you guys come up with the most, and this was way back in 1977, when carburetors were actually still around. I know you guys probably don't know what those are. And all 5 groups came up with different carburetor designs. One group had a carburetor design that got 100 miles to the gallon. No 4 of those guys have graduated. As a matter of fact, within a month, all of them quit school and were mega rich and never talked about their 100 mile to the gallon carburetor again. But back in 1977, my dad knew the guys that invented a 100 mile per gallon carburetor. If we had a 100 mile per gallon carburetor, we would not need fuel injection. If we did not need fuel injection, we would have never come up with a better rocket design engine fuel propulsion system. You see how this is going? The government pushes innovation through economics. The carburetor was useless because it didn't have anything to do with space travel and efficiency of fuel and delivery systems of fuel to engines. We needed a what do you call them? A fuel injecting system, because they also have fuel injecting systems for rocket engines. They don't have carburetors. So now you've got more technology working on fuel injection systems. You can further your space industry. It's not that carburetors are more efficient. They are more efficient. They're a lot more efficient. They're a lot more efficient. Like I said, my dad's friends that he went to college with, they had 100 miles to the gallon carburetor. Why do you need anything better than a carburetor to get you 100 miles to the gallon? We don't have any cars right now that get 100 miles to the gallon with all this new technology and all these pistons and fuel cells and all this other shit. So it's negligible if they're lying about the gas mileage thing. It's about pushing of technologies. So they will lie. And that's where I tell everyone, you got to look at what your government's doing, because they're going to cause you to fail if they don't want you to succeed. How do you know what they want? They tell you every 20 years, every 10 years, they put out a perspective of what the next 20 years is going to look like. It's not just bullshit. Someone sit down with Cram talking to a little 2-year-old. Hey, what do you want to say? Oh, there's going to be aliens, and we're going to go sunbathe inside the moon. And no, they actually come up with real shit that the government's going to do, and they put out a list. It's by law have to. Only foolish people that don't realize that governments do that, at least the American government does. They don't look at them. They don't look at it at all. They don't even know it exists. And it's a pathway to be a millionaire. You want to know how easy it is to be a millionaire? Open your fucking eyes. Start reading what your government says is going to happen. Oh, we're going to get the internet in 20 years. Oh, the government's lying. Let's invest in rocks. Okay, fine. You're going to be a rock digger the rest of your life. If the government said the internet's coming, the internet's fucking coming. Government says space travel's coming. Space travel's coming. Government says we're going to be on the moon. We're going to be on the fucking moon. Hate it or not. Like it or not, talk shit about it or not, it's going to happen if the government says it. Why? Because you're paying for it. You're the government. And if you don't control it, someone else who says they're the government spending all that money doing what the fuck they want, and they have to tell you what that is. So follow them. That's where the money is. They say follow the money. Follow the money. Yeah, brains and drugs. And see the problem with that all-nighter. Let me go back up to this statement you made here. See where it's at. Right there. See, now I just saw a news report where they say there's a lot of smart people in business and finance that are microdosing on LSD. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to know why things are fucked up right now? Put it together. Read All Night Hider's statement. Some people's brains and drugs don't jive well. So you have a lot of your supposed smart motherfuckers taking microdose and LSD, thinking it makes them more creative and smarter. Ooh, we have a psychotic leadership. And that's in our business. So, yeah. And that's why I don't like the guy this guy called Peanut. He hails people who do drugs for spiritual experiences and believes that if you do like tons of cocaine and some heroin, you can talk to God, but never go to a church and don't go to the Western Wailing Wall, because that's just everyone does that and it's not a big deal experience. And that shows you how stupid people are. That or they're going for clickbait, which means they're stupid. Dude, all-nighter, you want to know what collecting data is? The lady who lives upstairs from me, his ex-husband, worked for the United States government for 20 years. They flew him all around the nation. All he did was go to stores and collect prices of shit in different states and different cities. And he gave those numbers back to the economics department in the government, and they came up with numbers. But he flew around all this nation for 20 fucking years on government dime at all the hotels, and all he would do is go shopping. And he would not real actual shopping, but shopping looking for prices. They would send him a list. He would go to the grocery store with that list, find out what the prices are, put them down on that list, send that list back to Washington. That was his whole fucking job for 20 years. So if you think meter reading's a way to collect data, yeah, that's not the only way to collect data on this. There'll be no carbon tax. Carbon tax is bullshit. And finally, some smart people are getting up there, because if you know anything about the carbon tax, if you look at all the things that they say are greenhouse gases, and then you look at the 44 volcanoes spewing out lava on the planet right now and find out what greenhouse gases they are, they're the same fucking greenhouse gases. And then you find out that 1 hour of lava spewing out of a volcano is the same amount of greenhouse gas as every human on Earth creates in a year. So if there's 44 volcanoes going off right now, every hour that they're spewing lava, that means that's a year of greenhouse gases that humans would create. So that means every day, 44 years of carbon, greenhouse gases being created that humans create by Mother Nature, not by humans. So we need to rethink what we think when we think greenhouse gases and the damage they do, because apparently someone's lied to us to tax us, to steal our monies, and get us to believe stupid shit. Cow's farts do not increase the fucking temperature. Yes, Humboldt Stacker, the generic public is very, very, very stupid. And hello, thank you for being here, my friend. What's that too? Here, let me see what you got here. I need to flip over. Those metals can be removed. Oh, that's a Telegram thing. I don't do Telegram. Sorry, all-nighter. You can, yeah, I mean, everyone look at that. I don't do Telegram. But definitely check that out. All-nighter put down the link for it. Yeah, Pat, they come up with whatever they want. Here, think of this. if greenhouse gas was a really, really actual threat to our lives, and we've had micronuclear reactors and nuclear submarines for 50 years that produce zero carbons emission for energy and power, do you think they would have allowed us to use coal power for half a century, knowing we were killing ourselves when we had the technology not to? Or do you think it'll be a game and they're just taxing the fuck out of us? It's your call. Yeah, it should always be on them. If they're gathering our data and it's breached, everything that's harmful that happens to us because of that data breach is 100% their liability. I 100% agree. And anyone else who wants to put out links to cool shit, not porn sites or anything like that, you're free to. Maybe we can have some chit chat, he and I. I just subscribed to him there because I know quite a bit about cryptocurrency. Not too many people know this about me, but I am a creator of a cryptocurrency. It's going to be coming out here shortly. Not one of those little bullshit motherfucking ones that are unicorn fart dust or anything stupid like that. It's actually a legitimate utilitarian cryptocurrency based off of osmium, crystallized osmium, actually. Based off of a precious metal, 1-for-1, fully fungible. It's a new style of cryptocurrency token. It's taken a while to develop, but it's never been developed before. And I'm on board on the project, so it's definitely never been done before. When he did what, Humboldt? You stopped following him when he did what? I don't see. What is you referring to there? Hey, what's up, Black Watch? Oh yeah, you're talking about Ron's basement, Ron's coin. Yeah. Well, if you know anything about Ron's basement, I was his administrative moderator, and about 4 months before that, all that stupid shit happened. I saw what direction he was growing, and I turned over and I made Jake's Custom Car Parts a fucking moderator, and Coin Shop Chris a moderator, and Annie Oakley a moderator, and I left that channel. 3 months after that, he went all kinds of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, along with all three of those moderators. They all went stupid. I didn't see the moderators going stupid coming, but I saw what he was doing coming, and I was like, I can't be a part of this, bro. And I left. Left and right and left and right. Wall Street is closed today. Yeah. Yeah, people thought I was crazy too at the time. Why are you leaving, Neil? Why are you leaving, Neil? Because Neil's not stupid. I see things coming. I see pathway. I see everything I tell you people I see. It's fucking true, man. I see shit happening before it happens. Not that I see it happening. I just see possibilities and pathways. And sometimes the percentages of stupid get way too much for me to want to fucking hang out and see stupid play out. That's all. Other times I see, I don't know, America going into the nuclear energy business and wanting to control and dominate the world. So I'll get on my live streams and say, by 2030, energy prices are going to be 75% cheaper than they are now. It's going to be de-inflationary for energy. So if energy is so cheap, then the cost of production of everything also drops. Holy shit. Holy shit. And you know what? Now everyone else is saying it. I said that 2 years ago. So I see things happen before they happen. My problem is I see them way before other people see them. And then everyone says I'm stupid. Then when the smart people see it and come on board and start saying, well, maybe like Sabine Hasselhoff, she's like, well, micronuclear might be something. That's got way too much this, that, that. She's even way behind. She got 8 years of college and a YouTube show and is a physicist. And I'm smarter than her when it comes to knowing what the fuck's going to happen. Not that I'm smarter than her in physics. I'm smarter than her in knowing what the fuck's going to happen in physics. So what's the most important part to be smart in, physics or the next phase of physics, and knowing what's going to happen in physics before the physics people do? Well, I know what's going to happen in physics before they do because I know the general direction of their studies. And I see a pathway, and it's just way early. So everyone says I'm stupid. I'm actually not fucking stupid. I'm really fucking smart. I just don't know how to present it because I'm a fucking iron worker and I use a lot of curse words. Oh, dude, there is no untraceable deleting. No, go if you ever get an opportunity, and I don't suggest you do, but if you ever find a way to get on the dark web, yeah, go back and look at all those deleted posts you deleted. They're all still there. Matter of fact, I told people I did a video on this actually back in I think it was in early 80s. Voyager, one of the Voyagers, I think it was Voyager 2, came across a TV signal from 1943 of Hitler giving a speech. And the whole world got to watch Hitler giving a speech live in 1980s because the Voyager spacecraft was going so fast, it passed those frequencies, that TV frequency, and it was able to receive it just like new. I know it's a lot to conceive, it's a lot to think about, it's hard to do. But yeah, if you go fast enough away from the planet, you will receive every fucking bit of information that's been put out electronically, that's ever been put out electronically. You can recapture and replay every fucking bit of it. Yes, it's true. If you don't want it, if you don't want it recorded, don't say it. That's the only way to make that happen. If I can see it, because it's not my time and I don't want any of that stuff. But trust me, Pablo, within 2 months, I'll be showing stuff on my show, the show you're on right now, that no one else in the world has, that will be making me a nice house and a nice Ferrari, even though I'm not going to get those things. And that's just a start, because shortly thereafter that, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my virtual walkthrough that I'm going to have done after I get a little bit of money from this first thing. I'm going to put it to my catamaran building company that I've started, that I've got my engineer working on right now. And we're going to do a virtual walkthrough of it. And I'll show you guys that. And then I'll be moved down to Alabama and I'll start my lightning crystal thing. And I'll do videos on that. And I will take you to my festival and events property, that land that I buy and start a festival events on. And I will show you that too. Oh, and I'll also show you the money I get from the patent for an extension ladder design that I have for safety. But all these things require money. The patent's going to cost me $12,000. The land for the festivals and events is going to cost me about $750,000. So I got to start somewhere, and it's going to start with this new thing that I will show you guys within 60 days on this channel, and it'll make me the money to get everything else going, and it will start rolling. It's all about timing. Nothing is on our time. If you try and try and try and you keep failing and you got a good idea, stop. Do something else for a while, because God has time. And if you're not doing things on God's time, it's not going to happen. My time and God's time are fixing the match in 2026. And I am going to be a multi-millionaire by 2028. I probably won't be doing a YouTube channel because I'll have so much other shit to do. Other than come on and, geek out a little bit. No, it wasn't actually. They got that one as well, but it was also a Hitler broadcast. And I want nothing to do with politics, although I actually do want to have something to do with local politics, not national politics. I don't want to control national politics, only in the county that I live in. Yes, because I'm going to be early retiring as an iron worker. And also, oh yeah, I forgot, I have a prototype of a mobile beehive in my garage that I spent 6 years developing a new style of beekeeping and the prototype mobile apiary. Also spoke with Zambia about that. That's going to cost about $30,000 to launch. I'll be launching that as well. So yeah, I got a lot of things going on. It's not the right time. That's why I do these videos. It's not because I get money for them. I absolutely don't get any money at all from YouTube. I actually just get strikes. But what I do get is I get recorded video with about 10 or 12 people seeing it. So that way they can say, damn, Neil was right. He did a video. Now it's true. And it takes a couple years. But if you go back to my very first video 3.5 years ago in 2022, around June-ish time, it was about CBDC in June of 2022. And I said there was no way in hell we were ever going to get a CDBC. And one of the reasons I gave was because the LBMA shit didn't have their shit together, and they wouldn't have their shit together till 2026. Now everyone's talking about how the LBMA doesn't have their shit together, and they won't have it together till 2026. I said that 3.5 years ago. It's a video, very first video I ever did. I like documenting myself and my calls. If other people want to come here and listen to me and gain value off of what I say, please feel free. I don't bullshit. I don't lie. I don't cheat. I don't steal. I have no reason to. I don't look to impress anybody. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a wife. I don't have kids. I don't have a mom. I don't have a dad. I don't care. I'm doing this for me and only me. So I want to put out things where I can say when someone says, oh, you didn't know that, I can hop online and say, hey, look at this video. It's from 2 years ago. What's it say? Here, I'll shut up and let you listen to it. And let a video I did from 2 years ago tell you what's happening, because I knew 2 years ago it would be happening. That's why I'm doing this. It's a big old fat ass weave. It's going to take about 5 years. What's up, Kevin the Weed Man? Sorry I didn't say hi to you, brother. And yes, Kevin Weedman knows a little bit about what I'm talking about too. That's just he's going to be part of one of my companies. And then I got Pete the Sasquatch. He's involved in another company. And I got this other guy who's going to be involved in another company. And then I got this other guy, Steve Malay, who's going to be involved with the Festivals and Events Land, because I'm just going to set these companies up and let other people run them. And that's how I'm going to do it. And I'm going to give away a big piece of the pie by doing it. I know it. And I don't care about money. I care about legacy. And my ultimate goal is to have a living trust that gets funded by 5 separate companies to do what I want. That's animal rescue and life preservation. And that doesn't pay. So I've got to have it built up in a living trust. And I got to have 4 to 5 companies giving a percentage of their profit margins to the living trust. So the living trust can afford to do its good job that I want it to do long after I am dead. That is my goal. Do you know anyone has a goal like that? So I have to have 5 or 6, 4, 7, 10, 12. I have to have shitloads of successful companies. It's time to do that. Pete is a very good dude. I like Pete a lot. But yeah, once I get my gym thing going, not gym as in lifting weights, gym as in precious metal, not precious metal, but as in like gemstones, rings, jewelry gems. Once I get that business going, it's the cheapest one to get into. I'll start making other things happen, because you can throw money at things, they happen a lot faster. And virtual, I can't wait to show you guys the virtual walkthrough design of my catamaran. It is going to be, oh God, revolutionary beyond revolutionary. I'm going to make Elon Musk look like a little bitch with his little Tesla. It ain't gonna be shit. Of course, it's not a car, it's gonna be a boat. But there ain't no boat on the water. It's gonna have ain't even come close to the design of my boat. And it's a catamaran. Been working on it for 2 years. Design specs, all the other good shit that goes with it, all the schematics, everything. There's so many new inventive things out there that are added to it. It's not a copy and paste thing, unfortunately. most shipbuilds are copy and paste. This one's not, because it's got a matter of fact, on my catamaran, I have to design and patent a new form of power generation that I have designed. I've got to actually make it a prototype and then patent it. And that's going to be part of the power system on my yacht. So that's how I know no one else is going to have anything that I have. And I've already got a couple of years of working on that to make that happen, along with an engineer backing me saying, yeah, fuck, that's awesome. I wish I'd have thought of that. I'm like, yeah, as an iron worker, I think of a lot of things that other people should think about. I've been blessed by God, not with wealth and power, but with freaking awesome brain. And it's been my responsibility with that awesome brain to get somewhere where I can make shit happen. And that's on me. And I haven't done that. And I have disgraced God by not having it done sooner than now. But I'm on board now, and it's going to happen. Thank you, Blue Butterfly. Yeah, the catamaran, dude, it's going to be the Tesla of the water. The newest, most innovative watercraft on the planet that you can live on year-round and remodel on call. Not total remodel, but you'll be able. It's awesome. It's, dude. Yeah, it's awesome. The design, there's going to be pop-ups. There's going to be fucking walls that swing. It's going to be awesome. Like I said, no catamaran in the world's ever been done like this. And I just got pictures of 2 catamarans. Matter of fact, I think I got them on the phone. I might be able to show you. And they're bullshit, stupid. Comparatively. I mean, they're cool, but... Ooh, here's a good video. I can show you all this video. Hold on a second here. Let me get rid of the screen. I was at a hobby store yesterday, and I came across this.
What do you think this is? Holy cow. It's a World War II battleship. Yeah, don't touch, I understand.
Sure you saw the submarine there, right? I could just saw it. Shit.
Hey.
Sorry, guys. It's a 100% Lego ship, 25 foot long, made out of Lego.
And the signing of the end of World War II between the Japanese and the Americans.
It's all
this
Lego
is
pieces.
Freaking awesome. Don't know why they put a turtle up here. I like that they have the cat.
Of course, I like they had the cat up there. 25 foot long Lego battleship.
Leonardo DiCaprio moment. Look at this boat, my God.
All
I
out of
swear it's
Lego.
about 25 foot long. What do you think this is? Holy cow. It's a World War II.
Oh shit, my shit's not working. What's up? Oh well, my split screen ain't working now, so you get my view. My ugly mug. Let me see if I can find those other pictures of those catamarans. I forgot I took that picture yesterday. Oh, well, I'm gonna have that feature too. It's silent solar for the catamaran. It's a kite feature. It can get you about 5 to 7 knots with all the power out. That's going to be added. Been doing research on propellers. Not only do those propellers spin in 2 different directions, one spins right, one spins left, they also, each individual blade goes like this. Most efficient freaking prop out there. Quiet! Freaking cat. This is the number 2 catamaran show in the world. Building an aluminum catamaran. My bottom half's going to be aluminum. I started 2 years ago before they started theirs. And where are those other pictures? Ooh, yeah, this one. Everyone thinks this one's cool. It's a new catamaran. These top pieces here are blow-up, air-filled sails. Supposed to be real cool, most newest, inventive, blah, 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 blah. It's shit compared to what I've got coming. That's what it looks like when the sails are down. The top part there, those 2 things blow up with air. You look at that boat, looks like shit comparatively to what I'm going to have. I wouldn't want to live in that. Let's see, what's another one? Another great new one that they've got out there. I take pictures to share with my engineers to make sure that my designs are awesome. Nope, that was it. There is another boat out there. It's a trimaran. Shit design. The guy has it. Oh, wow. Split screen came back. Let's see. Let me get rid of. Oh, no, I don't have to get rid of shit. I just put a Band-Aid on here so y'all don't see my ugly mug behind the virus, showing that I'm a virus. I'm a scientist. Fixing to be just a virus. As soon as I get the Band-Aid over the camera, my ugly mug will disappear. And you see, and I am not going to talk about that because I'll get a strike. What's going on with shipping? That I totally am down with that one. I subscribe to Sal Macagliano. He is geopolitical and shipbuilding boat savvy dude. Got the best of both worlds. How could you not follow that gentleman? I strongly suggest if you want to know anything going on with anything that hits the water in America, Sal Macagliano, what's going on with shipping? Stay tuned with him. He'll keep you up to date. Yeah, it's a hard name to say, Macagliano. He's Italian, obviously. Uh-oh, hold on. Safety meeting time. Hit from the prototype. Oh, yeah, Sal would love that battleship, bro. They also have, I didn't get a picture of it. It was about a 10-foot long submarine done in Lego, but it wasn't nearly as creatively done because, I mean, a submarine's just a submarine. There's nothing eye-popping about it, whether you do it in Lego or whether it's the real thing. They all look the same. There's no eye-popping things you can do to it. So it wasn't really eye-catchy. But what it was, out here in Muir Island, this island out here, we used to build submarines, and it was a replica of a submarine being built on Muir Island. So it had all of the infrastructure that's still on the island. So it was recognizable to me because I can look out my front door and I see across the Napa River onto Muir Island, and I actually see where the submarines were built. So it's, to me only, it's a familiar thing, but to everyone else, they'd be like, what the fuck's that? You know, that's how I feel about Ninja, and I've caught Ninja late the past 2 days. I haven't been on one of his live streams, but that's okay. I'm going to give him a call in about maybe a month. He might do a live stream on what I got going because I'm going to ask him to promote. I'm going to ask him to promote my design that I got coming out, and I'm pretty sure he's going to. So everyone's going to know about my gym that I'm coming up with because, well, Ninja will probably do a video on it. And then also when I get my lightning strike device going, the Economic Ninja is going to come down and do a video on that too. So back to Pablo's thing, Why Aren't I Rich? I have been setting this shit up for 3.5 years. Every time Ninja puts out all these courses, Neil, I'll give you these courses for free. You're an administrator mod. I've never paid you for anything. No, I don't want them, Ninja. I'll ask you for what I want when I want it. You do it for me as long as it's not illegal. He's like, okay, Neil, whatever, man. So he's going to promote my shit. He owes me 3.5 years of wages. 3 years. I've only been his administrative monitor for about 2.5 years. 3 years. No, it's been 3 years. Pretty much ever since he started his show, I've been his administrative moderator about 6 months after he started his show. So he's gonna do a lot of promotions for me, and might not even be on YouTube. And this is where intelligence comes in. The people he knows because of his YouTube that he doesn't have on YouTube can help me more than his YouTube channel. All he has to do is talk to them on my behalf, and I jumpstart my business. If you go to business school, they don't teach this concept, but everyone learns it. It's who you know, not what you know when it comes to business. So I'm going to leapfrog a lot of things because I've spent the past couple of years getting to know the right people to make it happen. That is another way you become successful. You don't just invest in the crypto and in 24 hours say you're a millionaire, multimillionaire, and life's over with. You've got all the money in the world. That's the most non-critical thinking way of doing things I've ever heard. And everyone seems to be, not everyone, but a lot of people seem to be on board with that. And it's kind of a self-defeating thought process. I myself have been navigating the waters for the past 3.5 years. I got to know Rick Rule, Andy Sheckman, Chris Marcus. I actually met your boy, Simon, 3 years ago at the Silverfest in Las Vegas. Let's see, David Morgan. What's his name? James Anderson. And there's a couple others in there because at Arcadia Economics, when they had their second Silverfest, the beginning of COVID back in 2020, when they couldn't get together and actually have a Silverfest, they did an online Silverfest. I was the host moderator for that computer show, that live stream, and I got to meet all those guys. So I've been networking. I've been networking like a son of a bitch for 5 years, 3 years hard, getting to know the right people. Because when it comes to business, it doesn't matter about business. It all comes down to who you know. And I just gave you the secret to save yourself $500,000. Don't send your kids to college to be going to business school. Send them out there to get to know the right people, hold down jobs, go to these different events and horse riding or whatever, and get to know the right people, because that'll get you further in business than a 4-year degree. I would suggest, but I can't because the YouTube will give me a strike, but I actually have what you need to get over that cold. And some people say you need a prescription from a doctor to get it, but I don't get a prescription. I just get it. Because since things have changed, people don't realize they change. And people don't realize you don't need prescriptions for drugs anymore. You really don't. I'm living proof of that for 5 years. I've gotten Keflex, amoxicillin, mycilin, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine. And let me get the name of this other one. It's a weird one, starts with an R. Oh, this is going to be hard to pronounce. Roxykind. It's a lung antibiotic. I got all those without prescriptions, each and every fucking one of them. And yet my brother, who's a retired Green Beret doctor, has to go get a prescription from a doctor to get all of those drugs because he follows the old way of thinking. I'm a critical thinker. I said when I found out that Congress came up with a law outlawing, what was it, Viagra, I was like, oh, hell no, they're not going to do that. That's all for show. Because those horny little fucking sinners want their pee-pees hard so they can go out there and wickety whack whoever they want. So they're going to leave a back door in that bill. And I started researching the bill. Again, something our government does. I researched. I found a back door to their prescription drugs bill that they passed, making like Viagra less potent, all this other stuff. And I found that back door. And I can get every freaking drug in the world without a prescription legally. It's amazing what happens if you look what your government's doing instead of just talk about it. And that's how I found out that gold's everywhere. I found out 2 ways that gold are made that tell me that gold is everywhere. One of them is a microbe. Fuck. I don't recall. It's a long ass name. There's a microbe that takes toxic metals, eats it, and poops out gold nuggets. There's a fusion process to where a byproduct of the fusion process creates gold 148, AU 148, which is a slightly radiated gold, but it makes it. You don't have to dig it. You don't have to do anything. All you got to do is produce power, and a byproduct of that power is gold. Now, if you want to put gold in Fort Knox, you load it up with that because you don't want gold to leave. So if the gold's radiated, it'll never leave. It'll always be there. Boom, there. We just took care of our financial problem. Why does everyone care about gold? Why do you care about gold? Who cares about Fort Knox? We'll refill it in 1 year. 10 times that with the gold we make from all these micro and small modular reactors. All they have to do is they have the right shell casing. I did a video on it. You just go back about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, on how fusion reactions can cause a production of from mercury 149, I think it is, to gold AU 148 because of the proton that shoots out of the nuclear fusion reaction and hits this one chemical that they use to surround the chemical reaction. Did a whole video on it. Oh yeah, iodine is very good, Deja Vu. And actually what you want to do is you want to, and Obama took iodine. Everyone says, oh, providone iodine's out there. Yeah, it's not the same kind of iodine. The iodine I had in the 70s as a kid, if you had a cut, you were scared shit. You'd rather have your dad beat your ass with a belt than have a drop of iodine put on that freaking cut because it burned like a pain. It's total pain. But it was a good pain. It took care of all the bacteria and shit that would, and you'd heal up good. That iodine is not out there. Now they have providone iodine, which is a different type of iodine because I put that iodine on my cuts and I expected a hell of a burn and nothing happened. I was like, wow, this is not the same chemical. And it's not. But the original iodine, which they use for iodine pills, you could get, and this is why I believe Obama took it off the shelves, was you could take the old iodine and all you'd have to do is if there was a nuclear war, a nuclear leak or radiation leak or whatever, all you'd have to do is drink half that bottle and you'd have protected yourself and your thyroid from getting radioactive poisoning because you would load your body up with iodine and not radioactive iodine. And your worst case scenario would be you throw up if you overdose on it. It won't kill you, but you can protect yourself from radiation poisoning. Yeah, that. Quiet, cats. I'm doing a live stream. I'll film you guys later. Oh, I don't know what it's called. I did the live stream. Hold on. Let me, I'll do a quick, let's see. Let's see if I can get it here real quick. Well, I started this out with, oh, this is funny. Okay, hold on. Let's get through this ad. Okay, this is not the video that I showed. This is from 4 months ago, but it's back to Sabine Hossenfelder. So let me get to share screen here. Where you at? Share screen. Hit that button. 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 Look, it takes 5 buttons to get here. All right, this is Sabine. Hit the like. Sabine Hossenfelder. 3 tons of gold per year from nuclear fusion, as I just said.
They can create gold with a nuclear fusion power plant up to 3 tons a year. Really? Yes, really. Let's have a look. The idea comes from researchers at the company Marathon Fusion based in San Francisco. They're looking at the most widely pursued approach to nuclear fusion, that's deuterium tritium in a tokamak device or similar. These devices have 2 big problems that the researchers say they can turn into an advantage. The first problem is that the reaction produces a lot of fast neutrons. These are very, very unhealthy, yet difficult to stop and require a lot of shielding. The second problem is where to get the tritium for the fusion reaction. Deuterium is an isotope of hydrogen with an extra neutron in the nucleus. It occurs naturally in about 1 in 6,000 hydrogen atoms and it's also fairly easy to produce. Tritium is yet another isotope of hydrogen, this one with 3 nucleons. It basically doesn't occur naturally. It's produced as a byproduct in nuclear fission plants, but in incredibly small amounts. That makes it very expensive. Indeed, at $30,000 per gram, tritium is one of the most expensive substances on the planet, second only to coffee at Zurich Airport. These researchers now propose to put several layers of shielding around the reactor vessel so that the materials produce more tritium and also turn mercury to gold. In more detail, they have 3 layers.
Turning mercury to gold. The child's tale was spinning lead into gold. The physics tale is it's mercury.
First, the inner layer contains a mix of mercury and lithium. The second, the middle layer, contains a molten salt of lithium, beryllium, and fluoride. And around the 2, there's a shielding layer of a special type of steel. The neutrons that are created in the nuclear fusion are very fast. If they hit the mercury in the first layer, they do what's called an end-to-end process. That means the 1 neutron goes into the nucleus, but that kicks out 2 neutrons, leading to a net loss of 1. This turns the stable mercury isotope into an unstable one, which then decays into the normal stable isotope of gold. The middle layer with the molten salt slows down some of the neutrons. These slower neutrons are then captured by the lithium, which decays to helium plus tritium. They choose the amounts of these materials in the layers so that the tritium production covers the reactor needs, and then the other neutrons can be used to produce gold. They do a computer simulation for a tokamak with 1.5 gigawatt of power and say that it'd produce almost 3,000 kilograms of gold per year. At current market value, that's approximately as much as the value of the produced electricity. As they write, the consequence of this work is that the value of outputs of every DT fusion power plant is now around twice what they were expected to be, assuming the current price of gold. This will dramatically increase the amount of investment in fusion development and accelerate the deployment of economically viable fusion energy at scale.
That right there is why micronuclear energy and small modular reactors will work. Because not only can you get power from them, but you can get as much power from them and money from the power you sell from them in gold sales by the production of gold. So now you've got a 2-income energy production system. Everybody in the freaking world is going to be doing this. And that's going to drop your energy prices 75% lower and by 2030 than they are today. The web I weave when coming to explain things. The years in the process to explain all this, but yes, it's going to make your prices of electricity and power 75% cheaper. Why? Because micro nuclear reaction, they now can create gold 3 tons a year per reactor. So not only do they get to sell you the electricity, But in making the electricity to sell you, they make gold to sell you. So now they're making two products when they only anticipated one. Investors are going to flood into this. That is why I said pick up OKLO and NNE a year and a half ago, because I knew this. And they went from $10, OKLO went up to $180. It's now come down to about 90, still remarkably higher. People are asking why they haven't had anything done yet, because every smart person out there with money wants to get into the base of this company that's going to be creating power and gold. Frick, it's not a fairy tale, people. It's actually real.
Scale. But there's a catch. It's that the freshly made gold includes a small amount of a radioactive isotope of gold. That means the gold will be radioactive for about 14 years until the radioactivity will drop below safety threshold.
So that means they're going to take all that gold and stick it in Fort Knox for 14 years and consecutively keep Fort Knox filled with however much gold they want to say we have. And they will consecutively funnel the gold out after 14 years, replacing it with new radioactive gold, meaning that we are going to have a constant bank of gold coming out of our government. Oh my God, is America going to be the best country in the world or what? Hell yeah, she is, baby.
I also have to warn you that this is not a peer-reviewed paper, but it all sounds roughly plausible. The question is, of course, how realistic the numbers from the simulation are. You may be wondering why not do the same thing with nuclear fission plants, since these also produce neutrons. The reason is that the neutrons are too slow. They don't lend themselves to this purpose. And why not just sell the tritium? Because the market is super small and it'd be saturated in about no time. CERN was recently in the headlines for producing gold in lead collisions at the Large Hadron Collider in the most recent run. But even summing up all the gold atoms they found, we're talking about picograms. So that's not going to finance their bigger collider. I think the idea of making gold with a nuclear fusion plant is cute. Basically alchemy, but with more computer simulations and fewer bits. I think we should call it solid state capitalism.
And let's go to another person. Mercury turns gold, made nuclear reactors. I mean, they got scientist turns mercury into gold. Scientist turns mercury into gold. California startup claims they can create gold. Scientist turns mercury into gold. All these stories, all these videos. Can you, let's see, do people ask, can you make gold with nuclear fusion? Yes. Will humans ever be able to create gold? Should be a yes. It is possible, but only in minute amounts. And that's cool. All you got to do is have a whole bunch of things making minute amounts. But anyhow, the future looks bright. Buy some shades. Invest in micronuclear reactors, invest in energy. America's going to be great for quite some time, people. There's going to be such dramatic changes coming in the next year. Hold on to your horses. Get ready to invest. Get ready to make money. It's coming. And with that said, if nobody wants to step up, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I appreciate everyone taking time out to listen to me rant. But trust me, things are changing. Things are changing. Keep an eye on what your government says. Take away the TDS and just look at the black and white paper. Don't consider who's in charge. Just look at the black and white paper. If your government says it's going to do it, that means that your tax dollar, billions of them, is going to make that happen. So you invest in ways that they're going to make that happen, and you'll make money. You don't have to know about it. You just have to follow what they say, because they're going to throw so much money at it, it's going to raise the market cap. You're going to make money doing it, whatever it is. You don't have to know too much about it. You just have to know what to invest in. If you know what to invest in, you're bank. All right, you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your Sunday. Hey, what's up, Maria28? We're just ending this. You guys have a great Sunday. I will talk to you later. Peace out.